Monkey 47 Gin has built up somewhat of a cult following amongst both gin lovers and gin newcomers all across the world. But does it really live up to the hype? We're gonna give it a taste and we're gonna find out, and we're starting right now. G'day folks, for those of you new here, my name is Tim and welcome to Tim and Tonic, where we discover the world's best gins and how to drink them. Now I did a little bit of research on our little friend here, the Monkey 47 Gin, and if the website's to be believed, there's some kind of story around retired wing commanders from the Royal Air Force and monkeys from the Berlin Zoo, but honestly to me it all sounds a little bit ridiculous, just like a whole bunch of marketing fluff. So let's just cut to the chase and get straight to what this gin is all about. The first thing that makes Monkey 47 quite unique is the base spirit, which is made from molasses. Now this is very uncommon in gin. Usually it's made from a base spirit of grain, sometimes grapes, but usually grain. And while the base spirit is usually neutral, it's not meant to bring any flavor, that's the job of the botanicals, the base spirit can actually change the texture quite dramatically on the gin. So I'm really interested to see what this molasses brings to the party. Usually you only hear of molasses being used in rum making. Now the second thing to talk about is this number 47. Now, 47% alcohol, but also a massive 47 botanicals in this gin. This is really not usual in gin at all. Your really super classic gins like your Tanquerays, your Bombay Sapphires, and your Beefeaters, those kind of ones, they only use in the region of 4 to 8 botanicals. But maybe on the other hand, some of the more complex contemporary style gins, they'll use anywhere from 10 to 15 botanicals, but 47 is an absolutely crazy big step up. Quite a number of these botanicals are actually native to the Black Forest in Germany, Schwarzwald, where this gin is actually made. So I'm not going to list all the botanicals right now, otherwise we would be here absolutely all day. But I will tell you there is a large proportion of fruity and citrus botanicals in this gin. Plus, on top of that, there's quite a bit of floral elements in there too, and a little bit of spice, healthy amount for good measure, just to give it that solid backbone. If I'm completely honest, I'm a little bit skeptical about all these botanicals. I mean, yes, it does make it the most complex and complicated gin on the market right now, but are you actually going to be able to taste them all? Do they all serve a purpose? How are they going to balance it? Are they just there to make that massive claim? Luckily, I'm a very open-minded person, so I guess let's give it a crack and see what it tastes like. Oh wow, I really wasn't expecting that. It's super citrusy. I know there's a lot of citrus botanicals in the mix, but in 47 botanicals, there's a lot of every botanical in the mix, but it's got a super sharp lime peel, almost lime cordial-like aroma to it, which is pretty nice. It's also quite fresh and floral. I'm getting quite a strong eucalyptus character, which gives it that menthol bright uplift. Plus, on top of that, I get some raspberry notes and some rose too. The more I come back to it, it gets richer, but also a little bit herbal. I have to say, it's got a very distinctive nose. I can't say I've ever smelled a gin like that before. But before we get onto the tasting, do me a little favor and hit the like button now to spread the love of gin a little bit further. Maybe even let me know down in the comments below any other gins you want to see on the channel. But today we're talking Monkey 47, so let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, nice. Much like the nose, those fresh and citrus notes definitely come first, but those herbal characters come forward much faster too. I'm getting a really nice minty sensation with a little bit of sage. The floral notes are definitely present, but a little bit more subtle than the smell. Oh, but the spice, it really wasn't there on the nose, but it's definitely here on the taste. I'm getting this kind of ginger and pepper warmth on the finish. Oh man, it's really tasty stuff. While it is very nice gin, if you're more of a London dry juniper kind of purist when it comes to gin, this one might not be for you. Juniper is definitely there, but it kind of just sits alongside all the other botanicals rather than being the dominant flavor. But before I give my final thoughts, let's talk about what drinks to make with this gin. Now, drinking the Monkey 47 neat, like I've just done here now, is not something I'm going to be recommending. At 47% with all the complexity, it's just a little bit too punchy. But over some ice or even straight from the freezer, it could definitely be quite nice. Pairing this one with mixes I found a little bit interesting, particularly tonic waters. They were quite hit or miss. But the best options for me were if you want to bring up those more herbal qualities, the Mediterranean tonic from Fever Tree was amazing, but equally, if you want to bring out the floral flavors, the elderflower tonic was really good too. As for garnishes, I really did like something herbal with the Monkey 47, something like thyme or sage worked amazingly well, but the other thing I really liked from the nose that got a little bit lost when we started mixing it were those bright citrus notes. So I reckon something like lime peel as well, you maybe even want to double it up with those herbal garnishes, was absolutely delicious to bring that back into this gin. For cocktails, honestly, this one was so big and bold and punchy, you could pretty much use it in anything you wanted to. The only ones I would really steer away from are those cocktails which need that juniper, that big punch of juniper to come in and balance it. Kind of like a Negroni. This gin is particularly spectacular in fruity and floral cocktails, like a Clover Club as an example, but equally, if you want something where you're gonna taste the full flavor spectrum, like a dry martini, it's really great too. Just get that drink and get that gin super, super cold to kind of round everything out. So I guess now is the time you wanna hear my final verdict on the Monkey 47 gin. Well, first off, as always, the hard and fast facts you need to know. This one, it's 47% alcohol, it's a 500ml bottle, and we're talking around $88 Australian, which I've done a little bit of research, and from what I understand, in the UK, it's around £40, or in the US, it's around $50 US. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a really, really tasty, I mean really tasty spirit. But that's a pretty hefty price tag for a smaller 500ml bottle, and it's also owned by one of the biggest liquor companies in the world. The thing is, if you translate that to a 700ml bottle size, you're talking around $120 Australian, or £55, or even $70 US. So while yes, there's no doubt you're paying for something here that's super high quality, very tasty and very unique, I'll let you guys be the judge of if that price tag is really worth it. So if you haven't tried Monkey 7 before, I would definitely recommend giving it a crack in a bar first, because like I said, the flavor profile is super unique, so maybe it's not for everyone, but also that hefty price tag too before you commit to the full bottle. So if you want to discover more amazing gins just like the Monkey 47, start right now by clicking subscribe just up here so you don't miss out on any new reviews as they come out on the channel. In the meantime, click through the playlist here and you can see all the reviews that I've already done. I hope you enjoyed the Monkey 47. Until next time, guys, cheers.